I'm feeling claustrophobic. All right. I ordinarily try to be pretty brief on these things, and I will, but it's going to be difficult because of all the accomplishments that Mr. Mosier has had. It's been somewhat of a roller coaster ride, and I could go on with stories that never end, all generated by Bob. But, you know, just like a couple of them. I was here about 2 weeks into this program. Said I think I know enough now to not be too dangerous. Let me send an email out and ask the kids, you know, all the little JOs that are out there that were much smarter than me. What are we doing right? What are we doing wrong? Send me an email. How do I change things to make it better if it needs to be changed? Deafening silence until one email comes through from Mosier guy that I'm getting an email from. Didn't even know he existed. Well, that was the end of my time here. I thought I was going to come and roll paperwork through nice and easily. Didn't work that way. He said, you know, we got this investigative problem, and he laid out kind of the skeleton of the blue cell. Well, from that point on, my life changed. I've kissed more Iraqis and briefed more generals than you can shake a stick at, all because of Bob. And truly it was, you know, Captain, I made an appointment with General Beersby. Captain, I made an appointment with, you know, General so-and-so. Captain, I have Admiral so-and-so on your calendar. So, you know, he really is the genesis of and the spine and the brain, the central nervous system of the blue cell. And I'll share with you one other story that's kind of become a personal joke with Bob and I. But at the hail and farewell for Task Force 134, said some good things about him, of course, and General Quantock had nothing but praise for him, great things to say because of where we are. But there's a belief out there that the blue cell is going to fix all these problems, and those of us standing here know how difficult it is to open 2,500 cold cases, 4, 5, 6 years old with no evidence, and make them work. But there's a whole host of people out there that think it's going to happen, and it's better, and frankly it is. I'm amazed at what has been accomplished by it. But when I tell the story to people about the blue cell, I try to ratchet them down. I try to keep their expectations realistic, and I tell them, listen, let me tell you about the blue cell. Have you ever seen The Wizard of Oz? You know that part when Dorothy and then the Tin Man and the Lion have all gone through their turmoil and their trials and tribulations, and they come back with the Wicked Witch's broom, and they're standing in the big room. This is the great and wonderful Oz, you know, and everything's going to be fixed. You know, and they're like, but we brought you the broom. Well, the blue cell is the same thing, you know. The broom being, of course, the prosecution of 3,000 of the most dangerous terrorists in the world. Somebody runs over and opens the curtain. Don't mind the man behind the curtain. Well, you're looking at the man behind the curtain. Bob's back there, he's pulling levers and spinning wheels and pressing buttons, and things are going. Things are going. But to his credit, just like the Wizard, somehow or another, they managed to get back to Kansas, and Bob's managed to get some convictions and get the blue cell working and get a, as the General likes to say, the complete operational picture of detainee prosecution. And we've cleared some hurdles along the way that actually make things better and for the here and the now, but more importantly for the future. So, Bob, it's been an awesome ride. I very much appreciate it.
Thank you.
And we have a certificate that we'd like to read for you and give you, and then a few other items as well. Let's start with this one. And Lieutenant Stormer, if we can come attention to a certificate, and we'll have Lieutenant Stormer read his accomplishments here. Let's do the pictures.
Yeah.
Okay? Go ahead, Lieutenant Stormer.
Certificate of Appreciation to Mr. Robert Mosier. Mr. Robert Mosier, law enforcement professional, distinguished himself by exceptionally meritorious service to the United States, Joint Task Force 134, Multinational Force Iraq, Baghdad, Iraq, from December 2007 to December 2009 during Operation Iraqi Freedom. During this time, Mr. Mosier served with the 3rd Division Armored Cavalry Regiment in Mosul and worked mainly with the RS-2 and Counter-IED Working Group. From June 2008 to May 2009, Mr. Mosier became the Chief of Investigative Operations for the Iraqi theory of operations. While in this position, he directed and standardized the counter-IED and related insurgent investigations for the law enforcement program to assist coalition forces in the identification and dismantling of organized crime networks. In addition, he led and managed over 150 LEPs on all matters involving employment and interactions with senior coalition forces personnel. From May 2009 to December 2009, Mr. Moser served superbly as the law enforcement professional for the Iraqi Theater of Operations, Task Force 134. During his time at Task Force 134, Legal Office of Criminal Investigations in Baghdad, Iraq, he worked with OCI and the Blue Cell in the development and execution of the main effort to obtain evidence against the most dangerous terrorists and insurgents through identification, development, and implementation of combined and integrated investigative strategy for the United States government and the government of Iraq. Because of his efforts, Task Force 134 and the Blue Cell have been successful in their mission to provide a central coordination effort that engages and liaisons with all investigative entities, both American and Iraq, who are currently working together to gather evidence for the successful prosecution of the most dangerous terrorists and insurgents in Iraq. He was directly involved in the vetting, training, and development of the Iraqi investigators and has been instrumental in the development of the Iraqi Detainee Review Committee. Because of his steadfast devotion to mission, his tireless efforts, and his teamwork attitude, the IDRC are now up and running and currently investigating criminal cases with their American counterparts in a cooperative partnership. Mr. Moser has set the standard by which all law enforcement professionals are measured and has obtained the respect and admiration of all those he has worked with in Iraq, the larger Department of Defense, and the law enforcement community.
There are a couple of things that we have to give him so he doesn't forget some time here. First of all, Bob does a great job putting together our meet and greets, and if you've not already signed it, we want to present Bob with the Blue Cell sign, signed by many of the team. All right, get a photograph of that for him. And if you've not signed it, you need to. We'll put it downstairs again. All right. We have another certificate. Bob, only fitting that.
I won't do that.
I'm accused of being too close to the edge. Too close to the edge. And only fitting that the flag now flies over the Blue Cell headquarters, OCI headquarters, and Bob gets the first signed certificate and the flag. Okay. And now, as any good lawyer, you know, we're never prone to sit still when it comes to the written or the spoken word. People submit things and they have their, you know, documents and their sayings and whatnot, and of course any good attorney always improves on it. So if you know General Quantoff, you know that he instituted return with honor, and it is the doctrine by which the task force lives and operates, and it has instilled an honor and pride and commitment in all of us, and a way of treating the detainees so that an Abu Ghraib never occurs. But as I said, the attorneys are always prone to fixing and making things better, so we here at Task Force Legal and the Blue Cell have come up with our own motto that I've now had inscribed in the T-shirt for Mr. Moser. It's return with honor after they're convicted. So that's our motto, and if you've again not signed our memorial shirt for Bob here, for memorializing his time here, please do. And then closing in on the end, I know it takes a while before we give Bob his time, but we have our flying carpet. And just so that he doesn't forget that he is the wizard, we had it inscribed Blue Cell, Bob Moser, the man behind the curtain. And he'll probably display this on his living room wall, I'm sure. Cindy may not like it, but okay. And then, the last one I think is probably the most important, that he can sport in his office, wherever he happens to be, whether he's, Congressman Mosier or Chief of Police Mosier. But this is your Iraqi Freedom Memorial coffee mug. Now, for those that don't know, this is the same cup that he has used since he's gotten here, and we've improved on it. It's actually now an insulated cup. Okay. Thank you. The floor is yours, Bob.
So coffee. Well, I mean, I guess this is the time where I click my heels 3 times and I go back to Kansas or back to Virginia. I just have to say I am incredibly grateful for everyone taking the time today to come over and actually wish me well as I prepare to leave in the coming days. Especially when I look around, I see, of course, Brigadier General Rahim from the Iraqi Criminal Investigations Division, who's taken time, our Deputy Program Manager, Larry Frost, and Country Program Manager, Eric Provo, and just all my friends and colleagues I've worked with, and just have so much to do to break away and to come here to support me in my leaving. I got to tell you, the FBI have been a partner in the 393rd, having been a partner in the development of the Blue Cell from the very beginning. Underwent the first days of testing and putting it together, and it truly is a combined operational picture, a combined effort on the part of many that have made a significant change in the way that we conduct business. And I'm just, to be part of this. It's a great thing to be part of. Today's bittersweet, of course. I mean, when you think about going home, hopefully home for Christmas, I'm looking forward to that, the family, and then. But leaving such a wide range of friends and colleagues, every one of you I know and I've spoken with individually over time, and I will not forget. I will remember everyone here in my latter years when you think about the times when we grow old and the things that mattered in life. And this is one of those such moments, one of those such times that absolutely matter in life. The friends, the colleagues, the relationships. So I personally just want to say thank you to each and every one of you for coming here and for, again, making time. And I wish you well in the fight ahead, because it's really just beginning in some sense of the way ahead when you think about the prosecutions and what will take place. And if there's anything that I can do from my side in the rear, because I will be staying on with MPRI in capacity with the COIC. I would be more than willing, of course, to assist in any way. So I don't know how else to express it, but thank you, and just very grateful. Thank you. General Rahim, did you have something that you wanted to say? Please. Bernadette, do you want to interpret?
طبعا ايام تاريخيه وايام مميزه قضيناها معا.
It's an historical day that I spent together with him.
بتجربه الخليه الزرقاء.
The experience of the blue cell.
مع محققين مع فريق العمل اللي انا رأيته داخل معتقل كوبا.
With all the investigator and then the head of all the investigators.
قضينا جنبا إلى جنب أيام دؤوبة بالعمل.
We spent time together, next to each other, working on the same issue.
وكانت صداقة جميلة مع السيد بوب.
And my friendship with Bob was very, very special.
وكان مثالا للحرص والتفاني في عمله.
He was an example for sacrifice and hard work with us.
ودودا مع جميع زملائي من أعضاء الفريق العراقي.
Was working very close to all my colleagues.
ينجز كافة الأعمال يكلف بها بأسرع وقت.
I always establish everything and accomplish everything that we ask for.
يحاول يقدم خدمة لأي شخص موجود سواء كانت شخصية أو عملية.
He provides service for everybody, no matter what type of service it was.
في الوقت اللي احنا يعز علينا فراغه
And now we're going to really miss him very, very much.
نتمنى له حياة سعيدة وموفقية
We wish him happy life and very successful
في
life
حياته العائلية والوظيفية.
in his family, in his personal life, and his...
ونشكر على كل شيء قدمه مع فريق العمل اللي عملنا سويه.
We thank him for everything that he provides our
وإن شاء الله نلتقي به بظروف أحسن إن شاء الله.
and hope we're going to meet with him again in a better situation.
وإحنا نريد نعبر له عن حبنا وذكرنا به.
And we like to present him something that presents our love to him.
فهدية بسيطة كتبنا له عليها اسمه.
And very small present, and we engraved his name on this. Okay.
هذه الهدية باسم الفريق مقدمة من السيد جاسم.
Yeah, this is in the name of all the group, our group, and Jassim is the one he presented.
شكرا حضرتك.
Thank you very much.
No. Always the character, gentlemen. Oh, God. All right. Now, I realize that it's not donuts, but the general was kind enough to bring trays, obviously, of Iraqi food downstairs in the conference room. So let's be generous recipients and partake of lunch with them. And again, Bob, thank you very much.
Thank you, Captain. I really appreciate it.
All righty.
Thank you all.